As part of post-insurgency initiative towards improved maternal healthcare system, Borno State government has flagged off the distribution of drugs to hospitals in the state for free access by some. The initiative, according to the hospital authorities in the state, it is a step forward towards rescuing the women folk from challenges of ill health and therefore empower them in their basic roles of stabilizing the families and communities at large. While the government vows to deliver on sustainable basis, the beneficiaries are elated by the gesture, which they consider a big boost to their individual and collective destiny. We will reflect on the underlying objectives and mode of operation of this initiative on this edition of Panorama. Welcome to Maiduguri, and I am Abubakar Musa. Nigeria is seeking a much more strengthened cooperation with France to address the prevailing threat of terrorism in Nigeria and in West African sub-region. President Bola Tinubu raised the idea when he received the outgoing French ambassador to Nigeria, Emmanuela Blackman, who was at the villa on farewell visit. President Tinubu, who commended the outgoing envoy for her dedication to enhancing relations between France and Nigeria, urged her to leverage her new role as Director for Africa in the French Foreign Ministry to advocate the urgent need to upgrade technical cooperation between Nigeria and France to defeat terrorism and violent extremism. Reflecting on her tour of duty in Nigeria, Ambassador Blackman shared notable achievements, highlighting France's significant investments and remarkable increase in bilateral trade. She pointed out that France is among the top foreign investors in Nigeria, with over $10 billion in investment stock, and with bilateral trade increasing by 51% in 2021 and 2022. Recognizing Nigeria's pivotal role in regional security and stability, the outgoing ambassador emphasized the close collaboration between France, Nigeria, and other key partners in fostering sustainable international peace, security, and development.
You know, the contributions of the French Agency for Development that is now present in 26 out of the 36 states in Nigeria, and that have invested, you know, over 3 billion euros over the last 10 years. I also mentioned to His Excellency the President, you know, the pride we have taken in supporting the cultural and creative industries, the youth, in many new sectors such as esports, video games, animation. It's been a delight for me to see all these young Nigerian talents thrive and, you know, be able to showcase their talent and their skills in abroad, especially in France and in Europe. We also count on Nigeria to play a greater role, not only in the sub-region or in the continent, but, you know, worldwide, as a global and major actor worldwide.
Now to tell you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the establishment of a special presidential panel, which will be led by the coordinating Minister of the Economy and Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Wale Edun, to undertake a comprehensive review and audit of existing financial frameworks and policy guidelines of the social investment programs. This is with a view to implementing a total re-engineering of the financial architecture of the programs, with detailed modification to procedures guiding the program's implementation. This followed President Tinubu's 6-week suspension of the 4 programs under the National Social Investment Programs Agency. The special presidential panel, which is comprised of ministers representing strategic sectors and will ensure a multidisciplinary approach to the reform effort, is made up of the coordinating Minister of the Economy and Minister of Finance as chairman, coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare member, Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning member, Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation member, Honorable Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy member, and Honorable Minister of State for Youth member. President Tinubu anticipates that this special presidential panel will validate the confidence reposed in it by winning back all lost public confidence. Let's now tell you that Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has assured that the rights of all Nigerians, regardless of their religious and ethnic beliefs, will be protected. He made the pledge in Lagos during a special prayer organized by the Jam'iyyatu Ansaruddin At-Tijaniya aimed at promoting unity and tolerance in the country. The Vice President, in a keynote address on the theme, Searching for a Compass in a Multicultural World, emphasized the importance of inclusivity and respect for religious freedom in a nation with an estimated population of more than 200 million people.
Your sincere love and dedication are evident, and we are grateful for your continuous support. Your Eminence, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I assure you that the message of this day resonates with us, and Mr. President is guided by it in his promise to protect the rights and freedoms of all citizens, regardless of their beliefs. In our diverse nation, it is our duty to ensure that every Nigerian can practice their religion freely without fear or discrimination. We are here to extend a hand of friendship with Jam'iyyatu Ansaruddin At-Tijaniya and commend your efforts in promoting peaceful coexistence among different religious communities.
General of Jam'iyyatu Ansaruddin At-Tijaniya, Khalifa Muhammadu Sanusi Lamido Sanusi II, who is also the 14th Emir of Canno, called on politicians, the business community, religious scholars, and traditional leaders to focus on Nigerian project and work towards rebuilding the nation. The post-insurgency recovery phase in Borno is being consolidated upon through peace building and development. One of such efforts is cultural resuscitation through a proposed Canno-Borno Global Summit, which brought together different Canno-Borno dynasties on board by Borno Emirate Concerned Citizens Forum this year. Zainab Adam has more on the story.
Borno Emirate Concerned Citizens Forum, BECCF, proposed a Canno-Borno Global Summit to be held between February 15th to February 18th, 2024, with series of activities expected to take place such as arrival, prayers, conferences, durbar, and cultural exhibitions, among others. Chairman Borno Emirate Concerned Citizens Forum, Dr. Hassan Zannaboguma, says the proposal was initiated to strengthen cultural values, norms, beliefs, peaceful coexistence, and languages of Canno-Borno people to avoid facing extinction in the near future.
All the Canno-Borno sons and daughters, both in Nigeria, in Cameroon, Chad, were invited to come and participate in this 3-day event so that we can sit down, discuss issues affecting the lives and livelihoods of our community.
Officials and members of the forum encouraged citizens to embrace and celebrate the Kanuri heritage at all times. The summit, under the leadership of Professor Babagana Umar Zulu, is expected to align with the 25-year development plan of Borno State Government, the Lake Chad Basin Regional Corporation on Stabilization, Peace Building and Sustainable Development Plan, and the Northeast Stabilization and Development Master Plan, which is focused on sustainable peace, arts and culture, regional stabilization, tourism, and human capital development subcomponents, as well as echoing the reintegration of areas devastated by conflicts. In Maiduguri, Zainab Adam, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, you're on to Panorama on the Nigerian Television Authority. We have more reports for you shortly.
The Council of Our Fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Glad to have you back. When mothers and babies have good access to good health care opportunities, it leads to greater social and economic prosperity and general stability for the society. This is the perspective against which Borno State government, through the Hospitals Management Board, embarked on supply of free maternal drugs to all accessible and functional general hospitals in the state. Memuna Garba completes the story.
The initiative aims at bridging the gap leading to poor access to healthcare services by women in the state. According to officials of the Hospital Management Board, the free maternal drugs distribution is a step towards improving the health of mothers and infants with a view to ushering a healthier and more socio-economically vibrant Borno State. The government envisaged that the measure will help reduce the burden on health system by preventing many illnesses and complications that will otherwise require expensive treatment in the future.
We're going around to monitor them, how they use the drugs, to monitor their books, to whom they deliver the drug, to whom they...
It's mainly strictly for maternal patients.
The initiative is being praised by pharmacists and other medical experts and citizens as a major boost towards improving public health and reducing healthcare costs as well, saving lives. The target beneficiaries are grateful to the government for taking these important measures to invest in the future of the state.
Though
the program is still in its early stages, it is generating excitement and hope among the public. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
The northeastern region has one of the highest maternal mortality ratios in the world, with Borno State having an estimated ratio of 1,549 per 100,000 live births. This necessitated Borno State government's determination to improve maternal health care system, especially in the post-insurgency era. To discuss these issues and government's intervention is the Chief Medical Director, Hospitals Management Board, Professor Abubakar Ali Kulema. So it's actually great to have you here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. And compliments of the season.
Thank you very much.
Now, what informed this latest intervention in the healthcare system in Borno State?
I'm happy in your introductory remark you made a very good point by saying that Borno State is having one of the worst maternal mortality in the Northeast. And globally we knew the sub-Saharan Africa is having one of the worst health indices, even before the insurgency. And the 10-year-long insurgency has left the state with some dwindling, even health indices that we are battling with. And in view of this, we know all the consequences the insurgency brought over the time, both social, health, economic. But the health is the one that is the most devastating. And particularly maternal health, even before the insurgency, I say this is something very challenging. There are three critical things for us to minimize this, to improve the maternal health: access, availability of the health facility, and affordability. And then what informed the Borno State government's intervention is that they believe that once there are a lot of effort being made by government to ensure that at least they rebuild the health facilities, they employ healthcare workers, and then also provide the necessary drugs, equipment, and some other key facilities that are geared to improving the maternal health. And a lot of demands were created to allow these mothers to access the maternal health. But at the end of the day, the question of affordability is seriously affecting the access, the affordability of our mothers. And in view of this, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, feel there is the need for us to make sure that at least maternal services are made free. Otherwise, maternal mortality that we are battling with, it will not be overcome. So in that direction, he graciously approved for free maternal health to all our mothers towards ascending antenatal care, include delivery, as well as even undertaking a cesarean section in that direction. So that's what informed the decision for His Excellency to intervene. As you know, Borno State, particularly after the insurgency, we have a lot of vulnerable. And most of pregnant mothers are the most vulnerable of those. population that are affected by this insurgency.
All right, Dr. Kulima, the initiative going by those testimonies is a laudable one. What are your plans for sustainability?
Thank you very much for asking this very important question. The most important thing is not starting, but for you to sustain. And we believed with the effort Borno State government is making to resettle people. And then once people are resettled, we have now, the Borno is graduating from the emergency phase to now the recovery phase, or what you call the developmental phase. And once people are resettled and they begin their economic activities, the question of affordability would now, they will now overcome these challenges of not affording healthcare services. And you know healthcare services generally is very expensive because the cost of things that are skyrocketing, it has equally affected cost of medical services. And then once they were able to recover from these post-insurgency, if they are able to recover from the economic challenges and they can afford, then this will also go a long way to make sure that at least we sustain we sustain these services. For some time, the Borno State government is willing to continue for some time before people will have the economic capacity, to take care of these health challenges.
Okay, sir, can we know the number of hospitals involved and why only general hospitals?
For now, we're covering out of the 44 general hospitals that we have in Borno State. We are covering about 30 general hospitals that are functional now, and we intend to extend all the 27 local government areas. And also some primary healthcare centers that are in the densely populated, part of metropolitan and Jere, specifically Yerwa Clinic. Mariam, Gwendamgari Primary Healthcare Center, Gulari Primary Healthcare Center, Fatima Alishir Primary Healthcare Center, and others, numbering about 10, are also part of this. Though they belong to primary healthcare, but they are also part of the beneficiaries of these, free maternal care services that we are rendering.
Okay, so I would like to know, how will the initiative transform and reposition maternal care system in the long run?
Thank you very much. I'm happy you also mentioned during your introductory remark that once the maternal health improve, once the health of the family improve, they say health is wealth. And then this is an opportunity for now to concentrate on improving their economic, activities. And then once they were able to do that, what the family used to spend to provide maternal care services will now be spent on other aspects, either taking care of the children's education, or they will take care of their other needs. And they will even be, contented to start pursuing their agricultural activities and then improve on what the, family will, gain at the end of the day. And even mothers are now very active in backing themselves in economic activities. So once a mother can freely attend antenatal clinic and can have services, and she's healthy, she will have the opportunity, to also provide other means of sustaining her family.
All right, now, doctor, why the option of maternal care? And are you likely to expand the scope to accommodate other category of patients?
Thank you very much for asking these important questions. I say, why only on maternal care? Remember, for a mother to become pregnant, she has to be biologically, physically, mentally healthy before she becomes pregnant. And it is only in where we are taking care of our pregnant mothers, we take care of healthy people. Other subspecialties manage disease, we manage health. And at the end of the day, if we are able to, take care of these mothers, at the end of the day, it will improve, the economic likelihood at the end of the day transform into this. But if the maternal care is not, if the maternal health care is not adequately addressed, it will even affect the other services that we are also rendering. And you likely say that why only concentrating on maternal health and not only other services? There are a lot of interventions that are now put in place to ensure that at least even other healthcare services are undertaken. But we don't want to bite much more than we can chew. So for now, we are only taking the maternal health, but the Borno State government is now taking the maternal health. And then not only this, there are also other aspects that is being sponsored by the Borno State government, particularly our chronic kidney disease patients are now having free dialysis services. Yes, and then those who are also with mental health are also having free, healthcare services. So it's not only restricted to maternal health, but because maternal health is the one that is disturbing, and then we want to make sure we...
So are you now giving us an affirmation?
Well, I'm saying, yes, I'm giving you affirmation that there are other services. And I'm sure in the long run, if we are not overwhelmed, I think graciously the governor will also approve for other sectors to also start benefiting from these free maternal services.
All right. Our best wishes to you in that regard.
Thank you very much, yeah.
And we must appreciate you for, being part of Panorama today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and our best wishes once again.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was the Chief Medical Director, Borno State Hospitals Management Board, Professor Abubakar Ali Kulima. Collaboration with the United Nations Children Education Fund has flagged off the 2023-2024 enrollment drive and back-to-school campaign aimed at engaging all school-age children in the formal school system. The report. That was the official enrollment of out-of-school children in Konduga in commemoration of 2023-2024 enrollment drive and back-to-school campaign, a yearly event being organized by the Borno State Universal Basic Education Board. Executive Chairman, Borno State Universal Basic Education Board, Professor Bula Makagu, and principal officers of the board, as well as other critical stakeholders in the education sector, underscored overall significance of the enrollment drive and back-to-school campaign, especially in terms of eradicating poverty, violent extremism, and restiveness, and called on parents as well as guardians to key into Borno State government's agenda of ensuring sustenance of school enrollment.
So many pupils, so many children turn out with their parents. That shows a manifestation for the love of education.
While expressing receptivity to support issues concerning school enrollment in all ramifications, especially among the girl child, Chairman of Konduga, Wakil Kyari, and District Head of Konduga, Zanna Abba Zanna, said they owe it a duty to reciprocate government's unwavering determination in shaping the future of the younger generation. The event featured donation of 500 pieces of exercise books to the learners by caretaker Chairman of Konduga, as well as drama presentation on importance of schooling, especially among the girl child, by pupils and students of Mandarari Primary School, Konduga, in Maiduguri. Up next is Sports Update, and here is Oche Mbede as our guide.